Hello fellow Annihilators, I am the Annihilator, and welcome to the Minecraft Anihazamoney recap. This is for the benefit of anyone who wants to get into the series, because to be honest, I wouldn't recommend the earlier episodes because it is slightly more cringy than it is now, and the length of said videos are cringe-worthy as well. So let's get into this. This series features me, the Annihilator, of course, my good friend and fellow YouTuber ZamYTG, or ZamYT, depending on how he's feeling on that particular day, and the final member is my wonderful mother, Simone. So of course we named the world and series Anihazamoney. The first episode, Zam couldn't make it, so me and Simone started it off. We spawned in the middle of nowhere, next to a river and a starter chest, and it was just a bunch of crap. And in the distance was luckily a village, so as I hope anyone would do in that situation, we went over to it. Unfortunately, as we got closer we saw that it was an abandoned one, but that didn't really matter because there was still a blacksmith and food, so within the first 5 minutes I was wielding an iron sword and enough food to supply, well, me. After consulting with the woman of the house, we decided we would live in the village temporarily, but should move away at some point. Spoiler alert, we still haven't. After getting stuck in lots of cobwebs, and just generally wandering around the village, we had a pretty good lay of the land. In the village there were many caves, most that I promptly forgot about, a library book house, cartographer house, many farms, and the blacksmith I had spotted before. In the distance we could see a savannah and a pillager outpost. I decided to live in the blacksmith, while Simone chose a house with a lot of space, but not much else. I put a crafting table in a corner on the ceiling because I guess I like being awkward, and I cleared out most of the cobwebs. A few sneaky buggers escaped, but you know, temporary house and all that. I went mining with 4 torches and a dream, and I came out with 16 torches, 10 iron and 4 coal. Not bad for literally 3 minutes of mining. The first time-lapse of many was initiated, where I chopped down some trees. How exhilarating. When I got back, the second time-lapse of many was brought into being, when I patched up some holes. How riveting. After I went to bed, the third time-lapse of... Wait, what? You're saying I went mining for a long time and didn't make a time-lapse out of it? Sheesh, what a waste. Anyway, as you can guess by the title of the video, I found diamonds. My titling skills were terrible back then. Don't spoil the bloody climax of the video with the title. Anyway, I got 8 diamonds, 4 of which I generously gave to Simone. The rest I made into a diamond shovel and a pickaxe. Project End the Episode was initiated, and it all faded to black. Well, green, blue and red, but, you know, it's all the same to me. My footage corrupted for episode 2. Wow, I'm really leaning into this whole Luke the Notable shtick. Because of this, the video was entrusted with Zam because he recorded his side of it. I trusted him, I did. I trusted him not to make it 4 bloody minutes long. I trusted him to show all the sides of the story, and I trusted him to edit it well. Unfortunately, he did none of those things, so I unfortunately have to resort to using my memory. From what I can remember, I started work on my wizard tower, and that's about it. Obviously Zam was in this time, so he came to our village, got himself a house, and mingled peacefully with us. I'm sure you can tell that's not what happened. He ran off into the distance to a mountain overlooking a different abandoned village. We couldn't see the said mountain from our village. That shows you how far away it was. The third episode started off with us on Zam's mountain? Okay, obviously my memory was flawed. Apparently we've visited the mountain of Zam in episode 2. I went down into Zam's village in the night to sleep in an abandoned village, and in the process, not surprisingly, I got blown up by a creeper. On the bright side, I got to my village quickly. On the downside, I had to go back to Zam's village to get my stuff. Almost dying from hunger, mobs and stress really motivates you to get a move on, so I surprisingly managed to get back before the night was up and slept said night away. I got up, trudged all the way back to our village, and look at that beauty. The previously mentioned beauty was looking a bit on the short side. It needed some wood. Trees, wood, birch and oak. Don't know what you were thinking of. After I harvested the lifeblood of nature and filled my tower up with said blood, I went down into the mine and got some obsidian. Yeah, it was about as interesting as it sounds. I went back up to the overworld in the dark, and, well...
No, for God's sake!
And that was the end of that episode. The first thing I did in episode 4 was build a portal to hell. Pretty fitting for the episode where we go to war. But that's for later. I put the portal in the side of a hill. Of course, did a time lapse, but I think it turned out pretty well. Me and Simone went in for about 5 seconds, but as soon as I saw that it was my least favourite biome, we got straight out of there. Well, I got out of there through the portal. Mummy got out via the convenient method of death. I mourned by topping the top of my tower with dark oak wood in the best type of lapse, a time lapse. After that, I created the worst and most awkward staircase that has been ever created. Meanwhile, all hell was breaking loose. Zam killed Simone's horse, which forced her to hunt him down in a quote by Zam for terrible game of hide and seek, which lasted a bit too long for my taste. In the end, Simone found Zam, but he killed her. She got mad and punched him when he was in her house giving her stuff back. Zam ran away, but I was nearby, so I finished him off. That annoyed Zam, so he kept trying to get his flint and steel with me, killing him over and over again. He reached my house and lit the flint and steel. Oh no! I think he overestimated the power of fire because, well, I put it out. Very easily. A lot of killing ensued, and it ended in Mummy rage quitting. That left me and Zam to do the outro. We planned what was going to happen shortly after Mummy left. Basically, Zam killed me at the end, and then I made up a bunch of BS about how he now rules the world, and stuff with a JK at the end. We then took a 2-month break from recording Anihazamoney, but when we returned, we had basically nothing. When Zam had killed me for that joke, he had picked up my stuff, but he forgot his password to the account he had been playing on. He also had most of Mummy's stuff as well, so we were basically starting from scratch. So, I made tools, scavenged all the crap I could out of my chests, went mining, and as soon as I got out of the mine, the first thing I did was rebuild my staircase. It was annoying me even though I was still living in the blacksmith, and really that's what I did for most of that episode, with occasional wood cutting breaks of course. Speaking of wood, I almost forgot. To stop us going to war, Zam thunk up the brilliant idea to create the Stick of Truce. Basically, we needed to have the sticks in our inventory if we went to the other person's village. Otherwise, we would go to war. Great idea, right? I just basically ignored it for the rest of the series. In the next episode, Zam asked me about the stick, and I definitely had it. Yep, totally didn't just craft another one. If you're watching this, Zam, I'm sorry. You could have found out about it earlier. It's literally right there in the video. That's what you get for skimming through videos, I guess. The stick was pointless anyway. You were the one who started the war, so you're the only one who really needs it. Anyway, I started work on the floors of my house and put my bed down. I probably did my floors wrong, I probably did my stairs wrong, but I couldn't be bothered to tear it all down and build it anew, and now I'm in too deep, so it'll probably have to stay like that for a pretty long time. I went mining again, this time with Zam, and well, these 2 clips pretty much summarise the whole experience.
Hello. Behind you.
Hello.
Oh, we broke the stairs.
Oh, did I? Oh, what? Stop! We won't be able to get back out if otherwise. Stop breaking my torches!
I need them.
So yeah, it was a nightmare. I got back with a stack and a half of iron, but that's only because Zam left me halfway through, and that was about it for number 6. Part 7 marked the start of a mahousif recording session that we did that I split into multiple shorter parts. The game audio is lower on OBS though, unfortunately, which meant that I needed to do subtitles. Pink is Mummy, blue is Zam. I think the videos are better shorter, so that's how I'll be doing it for the foreseeable future. Anyway, the first thing I did was I did more work on the tower, of course. I did some windows and put my crafting table and furnace next to the bed. Zam had told me before recording the session that he could see a jungle from his castle. Oh yeah, he had made a castle on his mountain, by the way. And I loved jungles. So immediately after I finished decorating, I trekked over to the castle and Zam pointed us in a direction, and we all went with no further questions. After a while it had turned to night, because, you know, that's how time works. So we went to a nearby acacia village and slept there. After that, I wasn't so sure that it was a jungle. And that is where I cut off the episode. In the next one, I was still exploring, less so of the objective to find a jungle, but I found an even better treasure. A desert temple with diamonds. 2 to be exact. Next we saw a brand spanking new untouched desert village. So of course, we touched it. Well, I think rampage was our words. The only other thing I did that episode was I went on a pointless search for fish to tame a cat, because everyone else had one, or 3, and I was feeling left out, but I got nothing, not a single one. Meanwhile, Simone was in the middle of nowhere. She'd wandered off to some faraway village with loads of crops and loot and stuff. In the second to last episode, in this beautiful recap, me and Zam went back to our homes, and Mummy got back eventually too. I immediately put down my lime green bed that I had obtained via the many villages that we had went to. And that completed the prophecy, because I have an unhealthy obsession with green. I was desperate to get more diamonds so that I could do something with the ones I already had, because I really wanted to create an enchanting table, but I needed a sparkly diamond pickaxe to get the obsidian needed. So I was looking for 3 diamonds, and guess what? I actually got what I wanted. In fact, I got 6 more. I went back up to the world above and got some wood, because that was the only thing stopping me from making all the diamond stuff I could ever dream of. I got back, but I only got the pickaxe. I didn't want to be greedy. The only other thing really of note is that my whole world shattered when I realised, well, Zam told me, that I had been doing hyperlapses all along. They weren't time lapses, they were hyperlapses. My whole world collapsed upon me. Although, I kind of just ignored it, you know. I'll just keep calling it time-lapse. I don't really care. And in the final episode, I went to get obsidian. JK, that's not all that happened. So I found a monster spawner. Before I went to get the obsidian, obviously. And then, around the corner from that monster spawner, I found another monster spawner. And a few moments away from that monster spawner, well, I'll just let you guess. What do you think? Do you think A, I found a monster spawner, or do you think B, I found a monster spawner? Pick now. If you chose A, then you are correct. I found a monster spawner. Another one. That's right, I found 3 monster spawners in this one episode. Anyway, back to the obsidian. Yeah, nothing really interesting about the obsidian happened that episode, except for the fact that, well, the lava. The lava was the only interesting part of the episode, because at first I tried to block it up with the wood, which quite obviously isn't a very good idea. And so the rest of the episode was basically just trying to block up the lava without burning alive. Oh, but don't worry, I didn't finish mining obsidian in that episode, so in the next one you have fun obsidian mining to look forward to. Yay! Hopefully that recap got you up to speed, and if you liked this video, don't forget to annihilate that like, share and subscribe button, and if you want to see more like this, then I'll see you in the next episode.